name is Ayanamur Alma Matas.
Rachel Diaz
Di Villarta,
Linya Meg Monterosa.
Have a nice day, everyone! Again, my name is Ayanamur Alma Matas, the assigned reporter in Lesson 1 in Module 2, which is entitled Social System Model. So what is social system model first? So when we say social system model, it refers to event and dealings of the members of a particular group of groups composed from mutual determination. Usually, in social system model, there's an interaction and communication among every members in organizing and improving the social interaction, according to Ten and Razak 2014. Also, classroom is a good example of social system, which has a ethos, norms, values, and psychological aspect. So next, we proceed to the basic assumption for social system model. The word assumption is a fact or statement that is taken for granted. The first basic assumption for social system model is the social system are open system. Next, the social system consists of interdependent parts, characteristics, and activities that contribute to and receive from the whole. Also, social system are people. And for the number 4, social system are goal-oriented. And for the 5th, social system are structural. 6, social system are normative. And 7th, social system are sanction-bearing. 8, social system are political. And 9, social system are distinctive cultures. And 10, social system are conceptual and relative. And lastly, all formal organization are social system. So the next part that I would like to tackle about is the social system model for school. The first one is structural system. It's explained based on formal bureaucratic expectations, viewpoints, which are designed to attain the organizational goals. Like for example, in schools, the position of principal, teacher, and students are essential, and the position are defined based on established anticipations. Members have their own desires, opinions, and intellectual visions towards their works. For number 2, cultural system is referred to as a vibrant link between bureaucratic rule demand and individual work which desires to take along people together in the place of work. Consequently, organizations need to design their own unique culture, like also in school. Shared values, norms, beliefs, and way of thinking among teachers are shared orientation from the culture of school and significantly have an influence on their conducts. For number 3, political system is a system of informal authority relationship that seem to resist other system of control. Individuals that operate within the confines of structure, culture, and individual system usually contribute to the needs of the organization, according to Hoy and Meskel 2013. The last one is individual system. Is irrespective of formal position. It is presumed that a significant way to understand about administrators, teachers, students, and persons in the school as a social systems is examine their desires, views, objectives, as well as inspirations, according to Hoy and Meskel 2013. So overall in this discussion, according to Abasari Dahiro, social system theory is important and significant factor directly influencing school effectiveness. It promotes working environment with defined rewarding structures. Also, supervisory practices, work policies, and supportive structure. This implies that clearly defined work rule where teachers are made to understand the goals and expectation of the school. Also, teachers have greater motivation to self-development in their skills and knowledge, and are more willing to harmonize or align in their individual goals with that of the school and the community. Administrators need to take in cognizance the significance of social system in achieving school effectiveness. So I think I've already done discuss in the lesson 1. I hope you've learned something. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Rachel Diaz and welcome to Lesson 2, which is the continuation of the previous lesson. And I assume that you already understood the basic concepts and assumption of social system, and also the social system model. Because in this lesson, you're going to identify some key elements of school as a social system. All social systems have some activities and functions that are accomplished in a fairly stable fashion. For example, if we conceive of society itself, a social system, then the routine and imperative functions of educating, protecting, and governing are performed by educational, legal, and a governmental institution. According to the social system model for schools, organizational performance is determined by key internal elements such as structure, the individual, culture, politics, technical core, and environment outcomes and feedback. So here are the 8 key elements of school as a social system. So the first one is structure. Roles are expectation of positions that are arranged in a hierarchy, bureaucratic roles defined by sets of expectations, which are combined into positions and officers in the organizations. In schools, the position of principal, teacher, and student are critical ones, and each is defined in terms of set of expectations. B. Individual. A key unit in any social system, regardless of position, people bring with them individuals' needs, beliefs, and a cognitive understanding of the job. Cognition is individual use of mental representations to understand the job in terms of perceptions, knowledge, and expected behavior. C. Culture. Represent the unwritten feeling part of the organization and shared values. Provides members with a commitment to beliefs and values beyond themselves. And when culture is strong, so is their identification with the group and the influence of the group. D. Politics. Informal power relations that develop spontaneously. Political dimension spawns the informal power relations that emerge often to resist other system of legitimate control. It is legitimate because it is behavior usually designed to benefit the individual or group at the expense of the organization. E. Technical core or teaching and learning. The teaching-learning process is the technical core of schools. All other activities are secondary to the basic mission of teaching and learning, which shapes the administrative decisions in school. Learning occurs when there is stable change in an individual's knowledge or behavior. F. Environment. Everything outside the organization, but unlike physical system, social systems are open, hence the boundaries are much ambiguous and the environment more intrusive. Environment is critical to the organizational functioning of schools. It is the system source of energy, and it provides resources, values, technology, demands, and history. G. Outcomes. The products of the organization that is educated students' performance outcomes are indicators of goal accomplishments. It includes indicators such as achievement, job satisfaction, absenteeism, and overall performance quality. The model assumes that the effective achievement of these behavioral outcomes is a function of the degree of congruence among the system elements. And the last one is H, feedback loops, internal and external. Communication that monitors behavior. Feedback informs individual how bureaucratic structure and the informal organization view their behavior. Behavior in school also is monitored through external feedback loops. And in spite of attempts by a school to isolate itself, it remains open to community, state, and national forces. The social system model gives a dynamic view of school with the feedback mechanism and elements providing the action components. Good, bad, and neutral events occur constantly in dynamic nature of the system becomes even more evident when we consider the ways that student, teachers, administrator affects one another behavior. Well done! I expected that you gain insights about the key elements of school as a social model. Now, you're ready to move to lesson 3 of this module. Just enjoy and keep on learning!
Hi, I am Janina Meg Montarosa from BTVT Ed FSM. Schools are very vital in a local community. It is a community within a community. That means it is a group of people having a common beliefs and values in which those who are running the schools, such as the administrators and experts, must accept this truth. Every member of this community, like the learners, teaching and the non-teaching staffs, parents, and leaders, should show in their actions, behavior, and attitudes the unique values and beliefs of the school community. As defined, community is a multidimensional in location where there is a presence of the influence of the environment and the system of control. It also has a structure of administrative elements and guidance that determines the equality provisions. And finally, the process where is a management of the people and the development of the shared understanding of beliefs and values. With this, the participants of the school and local community who are all members of the school, including those with special educational needs, are encouraged to have a shared commitment in the information of the school community. So, community being a multidimensional has 3 important parts, namely the location, structure, and process. Schools and community groups form partnerships to serve a shared goal of helping students. Effective partnerships achieve the goal by creating programs that expand the school's presence in the community and giving the students greater access to resources outside of the classroom. Effective development of personality of the child depends on collaboration between the community and the school. The open door pattern. This position represents a very small and cognitive distance and is therefore the opposite extremity to the closed door position. It assumes that most of the basic educational processes occur out of the school walls amongst the family, friends, and neighborhood. Furthermore, the source of motivation necessary for motivation in school exists in the family and daily life of the pupil. This calls for a close relationship between the school and his home and community. There are not many social theories that support this position. The closed door pattern. Meanwhile, knowing that the school is in charge of educational and social development because of the child's problems and community involvement, the school requires feedback from the neighborhood. The school would not be able to function without constant input from the parents and the community. It will be obvious of changes in these systems and so unavailable to modify itself and its systems. Curricular will continue to deteriorate as a result of these changes. The balance pattern. It is assumed that existing close ties between the school and the community, as well as maintaining a social distance, should be balanced on various levels and states in order to achieve the desired academic outcomes. As a result, The balancing theory is a state theory that relates behavior patterns to distinct states. The hypothesis is based on two severe error scenarios that can occur. One, where the link and reciprocal interaction between the school and its community is too intimate, resulting in a deterioration of professional standards. The second scenario is one in which the school and community connections and reciprocal relationships are too far apart for the essential cooperation between parents and the school to exist.
Good day everyone, I'm Katie Villarta and I will tackle the last part of this module, Lesson 4, about school as a learning community. The school must reflect the inherent characteristics of a community. The goal of school is student learning, and when people come together to work toward a common goal, community is formed. What is learning community in education? It is a community or group of people that gather on a semi-regular basis to collaborate on classwork and share common academic aims and attitudes. Such communities have been the model for an interdisciplinary, cohort-based approach to higher education, in which all members learn new skills and take responsibility for the institution's success. All school employees must have the feeling of being unrestricted. Their opinions are respected and taken into account in the community. Furthermore, parents and children must be recognized as active participants in the school's life, not only as receivers of services deemed vital by professionals. You will be doing community service in this lesson. In this lesson, you will be undertaking community practices and understanding school learning action cells or SLAC. Let's take a look on this picture. This is the Hyatt-Michael model for the learning community. According to the Hyatt-Michael concept, the organization is dynamic, like the human system, held together by the skeleton and skin but constantly changing within all aspects. The human subsystems, despite having so many developing parts, the system maintains a tenuous balance. According to Hyatt-Michael 2001, these are the essential elements for a learning community. Number 1, a servant leader who performs as a guide and nurturer. So, when you are an educator, you should possess an attitude as a role model to your learners, of course. You should support in the one that can complement and give nurture to each member to strive hard and embrace their weaknesses. Number 2, a shared moral purpose. Leading with a moral purpose entails committing to making a difference in the lives and outcomes of students as a result of their school experiences. Leaders with a moral purpose take a whole school strategic approach to overcoming adversity. They prioritize the development of learners' literacy and learning skills, have a strong pastoral care system, and are committed to providing the kinds of enriching experiences that more privileged students take for granted. Number 3, a sense of trust and respect among all members. It is also important in a leader to consider the purpose and the qualities of every member in the community. Members' lives and work revolve around achieving a moral goal and build trust and mutual respect by doing so. And lastly, number 4, an open environment for collaborative decision making. Of course, in this kind of community should be an open environment to everyone, flexible enough for everyone to build strong connections and communication. Leaders must give everyone chance to speak up and suggest their feelings and ideas to easily adopt by others desiring similar information or solutions. What is community of practice? By which means a group of people who share a common concern, a set of problems, or an interest in a topic and who come together to fulfill both individual and group goals. Let's talk about the characteristics of communities in practice. First is domain. Members of the community are distinguished by a common area of interest, competence, and commitment. This shared domain fosters collaboration, motivates members to participate, directs their learning, and gives meaning to their actions. Second is community. It cannot be called community without unity. So everyone must interact, join, and encourages a willingness to share ideas to build relationship with everyone. Number 3 is the practice. Members of the community are actual practitioners in this field, and they develop a shared library of information and ideas that they apply in their work. So let's proceed to School Learning Action Cells, or SLAC, Professional Learning Communities, a policy implemented by DepEd. When we say SLAC or SLAC, a group of teachers who participate in collaborative learning sessions supervised by the school head or a certified LAC leader to solve shared difficulties in the school. So when teachers' awareness and expertise of the curriculum and classroom procedures improve as a result of LAC sessions, which stimulate critical reflection.